Hey, what's going on, everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com. Today we're going to be talking about Boeing stock. I'm sure you are all wondering what my opinion is on it and where I see it heading. That's something that I'm going to talk about in this video. If there's other stocks in particular that you want me to take a look at, let me know down in the comments below. But right now, Boeing is currently bouncing $90 billion valuation. And I actually talked a little bit about it on my Twitter. Make sure to follow me if you're not already. Link in the description. I said that Boeing had an announced bounce today and could be a crazy good value opportunity if it's able to make a full and clean recovery. But for the most part, I prefer staying away from stocks that have too much drama surrounding them, no matter the potential upside. This is because in the past, stocks that I've seen, even though there may be some hype to it and it's tempting to get in at the cheaper prices, that drama tends to build up, and when it kind of hits the fan, so to say, everything starts to crumble apart. And that's why I'd rather just stay away entirely from stocks that have too much drama surrounding them. But at the same time, I do realize the opportunity there with Boeing, which could be really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity of getting in at a very cheap price. So we're going to take a look at the chart here, see what's going on. The first thing I wanted to do is we're going to go to the weekly time frame, and this is going to give us a much longer-term, bigger picture of what's happening. So what we see is, you can see I had actually drawn this out in red previously because I did cover this stock in my one of my price prediction videos, and it happened exactly how I predicted it, which was a head and shoulder pattern that led to a drop. So the pattern is now fully completed, and we're back in our stabilization area between $115 and $150. We actually made a move above $150 today, which means that we probably are going to be heading to $200 or even $250 in the next few weeks here. So I think we're going to get a stronger bounce than most people think. That's not to say that we're going to be heading right back to $450. That's a much harder thing to do, but in the shorter term, probably going to get a pretty strong bounce here. That's already an opportunity right there, for one. Not financial advice, as usual. That's just my personal opinion. But even longer term, right, if the stock is going to make a stronger recovery, regardless, this is a very cheap price. And like I said, it's really whether we trade between 115 and 150 or 150 and $200 in this consolidation, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. The idea is that we're back in the stabilization area, and we're probably going to continue some stabilization now that we reached our support level. Now this pattern is completed. So I wouldn't necessarily be worried about falling lower again or falling below $100. I don't really see that happening as of right now, to be honest. I think we're more due for a bounce, actually, and we're going to head back to the daily time frame so you can see what's happening. Now, one of the big ideas here that I'm seeing with the Boeing chart is we have some open gaps that need to be filled. If you don't know about gap fill theory, that's something that I talk about very extensively in my technical analysis trading course. So make sure to check that out. I mean, link in the description. It's less than $20 and comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. We've gotten great reviews. You've literally got nothing to lose by giving it a try. And like I said, I talk about gap fill theory specifically in the course, and I have a whole video dedicated to that. So if that's something that interests you, definitely take a look because it is very key to technical analysis trading. And just to give you a general idea of what it is for those who don't know, it's basically a theory that says that every gap, which happens when the next day a stock opens, significantly higher or lower than the previous day, it creates a gap on the chart, as you can see back here historically on the Boeing stock chart. And what happens, those gaps need to be filled. It fills by the price moving back over the gap and by filling that gap, so to say. So afterwards, you saw the stock price move higher. We've got another example right here. And you're going to see these examples time and time again where these gaps get filled, right? It's extremely rare that gaps don't get filled, actually. Right here, this gap got filled when we move back up over here. So you get the basic idea of what gap fills are now. And if we look at our drop, we left a couple open gaps. We left one right over here, which is much higher. This one is more towards $320. But a very interesting one, and the one I'm paying the most attention to, is this gap right here at right below $250, which by all means, we would probably reach $250 while filling this gap. So this gap over here is sort of a almost price target in a way, considering the situation. Like I said, it would probably mean that we would test $250 on that move higher. Now, as you can see, we haven't tested that white middle Bollinger Band line, which is a very common bounce area. That'll probably happen within the next few days. And basically, our trajectory is really first getting back to $200, but really there's nothing holding us back to reaching that gap over here at right around $250. So that already is a very big price increase for one. And like I said, if presumably Boeing isn't going to be falling back below $100, then really, I mean, any price around here is potentially a steal. So on a technical level, I got to say I do like Boeing. You have to keep in mind the fundamentals here that are maybe a little bit more concerning for some people. On a technical level, it's looking very strong, and you can't really neglect that. On the indicator, same thing. We're back above the 30 line. We broke out of the downtrend line on the RSI, so I'm liking everything I'm seeing there as well. And with that being said, this completes my video on Boeing. Of course, we have also a little bit of a V-shaped bounce in the making right here, so that's something that can also point towards getting a stronger bounce than some people might expect. And thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, check out the course, link in the description, and I'll see you next time.